We got ourselves team 1 with Wise. A wise man once said, "What are you doing as an arms warrior instead of a duel?" Well, maybe he'll be okay. He's a wise man after all. I like your tabard flame. We got ourselves Miss Mac as a windwalker. Ooh, I like the swords too with a katana. We got ourselves Evil Doer in the back row. So we got Chet back here as well as Flexi Cutie with a nice crown. Looking really purple today. Versus team 2, we got ourselves Chicago with Prestige as a Frost DK. Oh, it looks so good. What is that cloak? He doesn't even have a cloak, just tabard. Under all these 3D geosets, it looks so good. We got ourselves Callus Heels in the back, Peachy, as well as Warg Ren. I actually wonder how good this mug would look like if he just had a black shirt underneath. Just a black t-shirt underneath, like no tabard. Just a black shirt. I think that will look wicked. He might look like an undead or something. You know what I mean? That'd be kind of cool. It looks like it's going to be Chicago, the Elemental Shaman this time. First up versus Flexing. As they're going for a little bit of a duel, getting really close to one another. But at least going for that honorable duel against one another. Oh my god. Anybody dizzy? Anyone else dizzy? Oh my god. When you get lasso, you should spin like that. That'd be hilarious. Flexi going in for some big damage. Line of sight while Chicago's still in the open. Should be big damage. Harpooning out from behind line of sight. It's going to be Lightning Lasso for Chicago. He's going to have to go for a little bit of self-heals. Oh, but it's getting interrupted with a muzzle. Chicago still trying to use Spirit Walker's Grace. The Liz continue running and moving. That was a lot of cooldowns for it. Out of Chicago there with a wall. Still holding on to Trinket. Flexing is the one without a trinket though. The fire alley putting a bit of pressure on him. Next, Light Lasso. Could be lots of damage. Stormkeeper pokes out for Chicago. And Flexing looks like he's going to be able to, or hopefully going to be able to, avoid a lot of that big zap damage. Does get a flame shock onto the pet. Looks like the lightning bolt's going to the pet instead. Freezing trap into Chicago. As he's trying to keep his pet alive into a faint death. Shadow, I mean not Shadow Mend, but a camo. A little bit of a heal setup. Next time you get last, I want you to spin like that. I think it'll be hilarious. If you can pull it off, I'll give you style points. Into a oh my god, dude. Yo, any of you that pull off why is this so funny? Shaq got hit with a freeze as Flexing got half his health burned with that lasso. Okay, you don't actually have to do that the whole time. You can just play to win. It's okay. Trying to get himself a healing surge is Flexing, maintaining the dot pressure. Why is this so funny, dude? Oh my god. Yo, any hunters play marksman? If you end up getting a through 16 no scope kill shot, I think you'll be the ultimate champion of these duels going forward. If someone was to go for a kill shot, get someone low through 16 no scope with a kill shot, that would be the best. Oh my god. Blaze Star for a Shaman. True, dude, true. It's so funny. Back to the duel though. Flexing does have a trinket coming back. It is a 2-minute. Oh, Resonant Arrow kind of hitting the wall instead. Not really getting any value off of Chicago. Kind of weird. But the stun with some damage right after is nice. And another Light Lasso trinket comes out for Flexing. Doesn't want to take the damage from it. Chicago trying to get himself a Stormkeeper. Looks like they're not going to be able to maximize the Stormkeeper. Trying to go for a Chain Harvest off of the pet. Flexing pulling the pet back so he doesn't gain any Chain Harvest value off it. Stun with a Light Lasso, another spin to win coming out as the pet stack rolls in. Flexing should be able to live a lot of this damage. Resonant Arrow for some damage coming out. Does go feign death. Stunned by the Earth Elemental into a Turtle Shell as Flexing had to go for every single heal. The Curing Potion with the healing over time as well as the Acceleration comes out. So that's a lot of defenses used to survive the onslaught that Chicago had with a little bit of burst. Looks like Chicago just has so much pressure as an Elemental Shaman, and it doesn't seem like they do much except for Lightning Lassos, really. Like, it just does all the damage for them in most cases. And Flexing hoping to just kind of line inside Chicago, getting the dots on all of those totems, trying to deal with the Earth Elemental. And Chicago is trying to stay away from the pillar, doesn't want to walk into a freezing trap, staying with more of a wide swings around the pillar as we're about to hit the 5-minute mark here. Wall coming out, it looks like maybe the pet for Chicago, the Earth Elemental, doesn't have much life left in him. Stone into Flexing. Maybe Chicago can make some damage happen. Trying to get some slows on him. And I think that was trying to go for a lasso, but I doubt the lasso worked. Does get himself a healing surge into a stun. Is Flexing. Doesn't get knocked back, but the pet does. And Chicago trying to land a Chain Harvest onto the Hunter. Not going to happen as the Flexing has plenty of damage from afar. Maybe Harpoon right after. If he gets line of sight, maybe Harpoon. doesn't harpoon towards Chicago, setting up traps on the sides, and Chicago's still doing okay. While dampening isn't up, the Shaman should actually have a lot of self-heals. The mana is running kind of low though. So as long as the mana isn't super low, he will be okay. Flexing, I don't think he has much dots on him anymore, but he is still continuing to get himself more dots set up. The sealed trap doesn't really stop him. Lightning lasso around the corner does force Flexing to trinket it yet again. And this duel has been going on for about 8 minutes here, boys. The survival hunter can survive. I mean, it's literally in their name. They just got all that CC and the kiting potential. Chicago has the mana to heal themselves. He has the damage at all times. It looks like maybe he can get some zaps on the Flexing. Flexing poking in, stun coming down, shrinking for Chicago. Does go for a resident shot. Maybe the zap come out with a lava burst right after. Looks like it's going to be Spirit Walker's Grace to keep himself a little bit of survivability. Flexing does need, or Chicago needs the pet to attack Flexing instead of the pet. It looks like the fire elemental is focused on the hunter's pet instead of the hunter themselves, which is super unfortunate. Just need to click that button for the pet attack to make sure it's on Flexing. Try to get himself a little bit of a sippy cup there. A little bit of a reheal. The elemental is going to get trapped out. Flexing does have the traps around the corner. Can't really get around them quite easily. And Chicago is going to be running into that steel trap. Lightning lasso does catch him. Kind of low in health. Might be able to maybe do something out of it. Turtle shell. And Flexing is going to get himself a bit of a health recovery with the Kyrian sippy cup, which does give him healing over time. Bigger heals, but less instant. Chicago taking their aggression onto the pet instead. If he can't hit the hunter, he might as well take the pet out. At least get rid of flame shocks and frost shocks. Just at least it's out in the open. You might be able to get some damage in there. Maybe take down the pet so Flexing doesn't have the pet sack for later. Resonant arrow yet again as the stun comes out of Flexing. Does he have enough to finish him off here? Walking up for Chicago, trying to get himself a bit of a heal. No muzzle available for those recasts. And looks like Chicago is going to get himself freebie heals. Flexing just doesn't have the damage. Even with the Resonant arrow on Chicago, just didn't have the damage to follow up. Yeah, looks like he didn't have Aspect of the Eagle or anything available for the Coordinated Assault Burst. We're at a 28% dampener. Maybe at this point, Chicago or Flexing might be able to make a play, as the healing for the both of them is going to be minimized. Lightning lasso does have the pet sack, and you're kind of hoping that those lightning lassos don't really crit, otherwise the pet will take majority of the damage. Freezing trap setting up on him. Does he have the big zaps available? Looks like he's going to get one lightning bolt in there. Flexing is super far away. As long as Chicago just doesn't walk into that random freezing trap, he'll be in a good spot. He needs to get himself a grounding totem run on the corner on Flexing, dude. I think he has to. The steel trap is right in the middle. Chicago is definitely going to run into it. Try to go for a running jump. Not going to happen. Flexing catches himself a camo with that reset. Does the pet have any dots? I think the pet does not have any dots. So it's going to be a full reset by the both of them. This guy has been able to see the game 3 times now. The wall from Earth Ellie should keep Chicago alive a little bit longer. And generally, Earth Elemental is better at hitting the hunter rather than the pet. And I think it's exactly what he's doing. Big stun on Chicago with the resonant shot. Flexing looking for some freebie damage while light inside of Chicago. Do they have the kill shot available sometime soon? Harpooning interrupted on that heal chain. Harvesting coming out for Chicago. Feign death for Flexing and does get the final nade in there. With 72% dampener, boys, this is going to be an all-out brawl. You're not going to be able to give Flexing Cutie a proper heal here. I don't think you'll be able to go for a proper honor duel. Whoever is on team Chicago is probably going to have to go, boys. They're probably going to have to go ASAP here. Unless we're going to wait until higher dampener. Yo, we're ready for that 0 healing game, boys. 0 healing game. Every time it was up, yo. I swear to God, every time it was up. The Fire Ellie, yo, the Fire Ellie just pulled some Tyrant plays, man. Like, Tyrant does some very dumb things. I don't know why the Fire Ellie did that. Super unfortunate when that happens. Looks like Prestige, the Frost DK, is going to be up next, though. Got himself a big old 2-hander. Maldrax is set ready. And Flexing trying to get himself a better position. As Prestige knows he's just going to get attacked by Flexing. Looking for maybe the eyes, maybe pick it up. And Flex is definitely going to have to go for some dots as soon as he picks up the eyes. Can't really hide from him anyway. The shield from the Maldraxes should also be much smaller with a dampener, though. So hopefully Prestige at least gets some value out of it. Flexing with the trap set up. Waiting for the DK. I feel like the DK can't really mosey around. He has to go in immediately. Stun around the corner. IBS maybe a little bit late. Flexing is going to get the kiting spree. Chain of Ice is coming out for Prestige. Does get a harpoon on him for a second. The Abomination Limb should grip Flexing to him. The stun comes out from the worm. The big dragon flying up above. Frost Worm's Fury. Flexing did turtle shell a lot of this damage. Actually, full Abomination Limb got turtled. Lichborn available for Prestige. I don't really know how much healing he can get out of it. Does shrink it out of a freezing trap. Using some more obliterates to end this right here. But Flexing has the kites. He has the dots. Harpoons to him unless it was a grip. And Prestige should be going down here to the dots either way. As Flexing picked up some dammies. Callus uses a Boomy, rushing in, hoping to maybe get a kill on flexing ASAP, having to go through a charge trap, which is super unfortunate. Gonna be flare on one side, probably traps lined up for him. Needs to get some kind of dots on the flexing immediately, dude. Does at least get some dots on a pet. That's gonna be that freezing trap on the flexing. Does try to go for a reset. Looked like a camo for a moment, but with the dots he won't be able to do much. Setting up a bunch of traps for Callus, tried to keep him in place, but looks like one of those traps didn't even do anything. I think it was a seal trap. Unless Callus power shifted it, which it didn't look like he power shifted that at all. Stun around the corner, flexing does not have resonant shot. Looks like he does get it up and running. Doesn't really have a lot of damage to go around the pillar though, but at least he can get some dots and nades. At least there's that. Could harpoon if he wants to catch up, to chase. It looks like flexing does use a sipping up from the Kirin as ASAP. He's not going to get much healing out of it at this point. Manic Bender is barely healing him at this point with 88% dampener, but the dots on the Callus with the pet attacking him is even more pressure. Callus needed to make a play as early as possible to get a bash onto flexing and go for a setup, but I think maybe it's far too over. The dots have set in, and kill shot is going to probably be the end of him. That's basically it. Does get a disarm, but flexing has him just so low and did outplay him there. 90% dampener. Somebody got to go next, boys. Is it Peachy up next? Looks like it is going to be Peachy, maybe? Stun onto Peachy, flexing, looking for us in the arrow. Peachy trinkets. It does go for a roar to flexing. Trinkets out. That's going to be a full bash on the flexing. Big Star Surges. Does he have enough to take him out? Turtle Shell not available. Flexing does go for acceleration, but his health didn't even budge. 2% healing effectiveness for all the heals. And that was Peachy with full burst, with thorns and everything. Steel trap on one side, freezing trap on another. The swarm is on him. Should do some dot damage. And those dots do get cleared from Peachy with that freezing trap. As flexing taking a bit of that damage. If Peachy can just get a moonfire, he'll be in a good spot. But I think the feigned death might come out for flexing. I think the pet still has dodge though. So I don't know if he's going to get himself a proper camo. No healing coming out of this. 100% dampening. Your health isn't coming back. Your shields are actually just non-existent anymore. Peachy trying to go for a self-heal, but his health is just not moving anymore, dude. How did this game go to 100% dampener and we still have more than one person on each team? How did this game go to literally 100% dampening? How? This is the longest 5v5 1v1 game ever. And maybe Peachy might be able to make something out of it. Just try to maintain the dots and flexing as best as possible. Back in the bear form for whatever healing he can get out of it. Bash with flexing. Star Charge is flying. Kill shot comes in. And Wargren needs to be the guy to finish it. How do you even get a camo there? Almost got a full camo. Wargren is going to run to freezing trap. Trinkets out of it. And that's going to be stunned by flexing. With a resident area. Flexing can somehow squeeze out a win here. That'll be insane. Stunned by Wargren. Should be able to get just a little bit of damage out of flexing. Disengaging forwards to him. Negative thrown out. Kill shot. I think it's over. With that last nade doms him. What's up next? Who's out of all these people who didn't even get a chance to barely play? What's going to be up next? Is it chat? Is it Wise? Is it Evildoer? I think it's... Oh, it's Evildoer. Is he coming in as a feral? Big Convoke. No trinket. I think it's over. If you... He lived. Wait. He lived. Wait. He lived. Turtle Shell. He lived. Manic Bandage available. Trying to go for a pet revive. I don't know if he'll be able to in this turtle. Looks like he does. Rake and the stun, and you're done. How did this game go for as long as it did? This man almost did 1,000,000 damage. This man almost did 1,000,000 damage. How did that game go for as long as it did? I don't understand. It was such a long game between him and the Shaman. But then it just got longer and longer with every other person dueling.